My 2.5-year-old daughter's here, so when I heard the sprinting of a small child, I whipped my head around and I thought, she wasn't supposed to do that. The last of the campaign reflections. And we'll save the treasure for last. So I think you know what that means. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about money. My name is William Taylor. I am your treasurer, which makes me the chair of the Finance Committee, and I also have the privilege of being on the campaign committee. And I'm here to clarify 3 things for you. 1, that this campaign is a dual campaign. 2, that we are not planning on borrowing any money. And 3, if you have questions, please ask. So for my first point, that this campaign actually has dual mandate, annual stewardship and the building project. Annual stewardship, we call this parishioner support in the vestry meetings and at the annual report. It's really the financial lifeblood of St. Paul's. It makes up most of the operating budget, and that pays for our people, programs, and the philanthropy out into the community. And of this dual mandate, the stewardship, the annual stewardship, is the most important to us. So please, do not make a campaign gift at the expense of annual pledging. But if you have extra, and I'm on the campaign committee, so I'm happy to convince you that you have extra, please make a generous gift to the building project. It's a remarkable opportunity to update this facility for the next 50 to 100 years. Also, resist the temptation to think, well, the building project is just for the largest donors. Everybody needs to be involved. Everybody needs to give. So please, be an annual pledger and make a gift to the building project. And going from giving to borrowing, I want to stress that we are not planning on borrowing any money for this project. And this is confusing a number of folks, and I've been thinking about it. I think I understand why. Here are 3 reasons it might be confusing. The first is that we have a unique and complicated tenant arrangement that's going to pay for a majority of the costs. 2, when people say real estate, I think a lot of people think mortgages and borrowing. And then finally, many of us have seen the first draft of the architect's big, beautiful new building. And we're thinking, well, if we only raise $5 million, how do we get a $20 million project completed? We must be borrowing. And right now I can tell you we're not planning on borrowing. In fact, to take it a step further, St. Paul's is prohibited legally from borrowing without a vote from the parish. And so this misconception leads me to my last point. And that is, if you have questions, please ask. If you have questions about the price tag or how to give both an outright and a deferred gift, ask. If you have questions about the $11 million strategic tenant arrangement, ask. Ask about the $5 million on cue. $5 million, she's going to come by with an offertory plate here in a second. Treasurer's daughter. This is also not part of it, but $5 million we need to raise from the parish. Ask about the $2 million we've already raised, or ask about the $2 million in grants and tax credits. Get in touch with Will, with John, or a member of the campaign committee. As the Bible says in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, ask and it will be given, seek and ye shall find. So in conclusion, remember that the building campaign is a dual campaign. That we are not planning to borrow any money. And finally, if you have questions, ask. Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday.